I'm extra loud, and I don't need improvement. Fell asleep, a man woke up superhuman.
Hello internet, how's it going? Welcome back to the Jongravesshow. Today, I'm just kind of putting this little video out because, yeah, sorry about yesterday for me not getting out a video. It was work, but that mostly falls on me because I didn't get the video rendered a lot. So yeah, my grave prosperity video, it's up at the moment. Please check that out. But the thing that I kind of wanted to make this video on about today was that I wanted to kind of nip the bud, man, like in this whole Sasuke versus Hiei thing. Sorry, I almost said Itachi. But the whole thing behind it is like, on one half of this, because there's a lot of debunk videos out there about Naruto and about how powerful Sasuke is, and how basically he scales to Naruto, and how they scale to Kagura, who's quote-unquote planetary, even though technically we've only seen her do officially like 2 things. Like, since she came back, she opened up portals and shot spikes at people. That's about it. Other than that, control the elements of the area around them and whatnot, but that's about it. Other than that, if she was quote-unquote planetary, she wouldn't have gotten resealed. But yeah, a lot of this stuff like that we've been seeing so far has been people listing off a lot of stats and feats for Sasuke, and then them sort of downplaying most of the feats for Hiei. And the weird thing to me is that these are people who didn't go back and sort of like refresh themselves like with the Yu Yu Hakusho series, because again, they are smart enough to basically pull out the whole thing of like, yeah, like a B to an S class can destroy the world, right? They are like they can pull from that, but then they tend to just kind of be like, well, now since technically like that they made statements, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's true. I mean, you know, you still got these guys being saying like that like, because the Jigan actually has a it has a feat that basically says that it can see past all illusions, all it protects against all mental attacks and everything. They went on to try and call that a no limits fallacy, and I went on to say that, or at least like I'm thinking here is like, yeah, no, that's not a no limits fallacy, when basically, you know, if it's clear cut and it's in that, you know, that's kind of a thing, you know, because also they kind of look past Sasuke's like Hiei speed, because they go on to say that, well, now Sasuke is faster than him because in the data books of Naruto, so-and-so has X amount of times faster than light. And I'm sitting over here thinking like, who the fuck is calculating like all these speed feats? I mean, sure, we know that Kakashi chopped the lightning bolt in half. Okay, cool. But other than that, it's like, well, you know, I kind of don't think like that's kind of a thing where basically you start like saying like, okay, like who's measuring out like these passages of light and shit, you know, because a data book can say one thing, but then the show can present something completely different. So, you know, you kind of got to take some of that shit with a grain of salt, especially since that, you know, I know that a lot of these guys, that they kind of really didn't listen when they paid attention to the whole thing of Hiei has a perfect counter for everything, well, if not most of the things that Sasuke can do. Okay, because I know that they were like, well, yeah, he has a Sharingan, it does this, it does that, and it gives him these abilities, and I'm like, yeah, virtually the only real kind of advantage that he might have is the fact that his Sharingan can actually track movements. You know what I'm saying? Because it can do that if they even really remember that. Because again, it's like, you know, the Sharingan has been retconned so many fucking times now that it's like, well, you know, what actual abilities beyond the Mangekyo that are set in stone, you know, other than, you know, trapping people like in a high level genjutsu. Hard to say, but based on what I do know is that with Sasuke using like his illusions, they wouldn't work on Hiei because of the Jagan eye. Even if basically he went the little extra route of putting chakra like into these eyes, this eye is still, you know, immune to all mental attacks, and also it stops illusions, so that's gone. You say that he has Amaterasu, but Death Battle went on to state that Hiei is immune to fire, but technically what they didn't say is that Hiei actually absorbed the Dragon of the Darkness Flame into himself, gaining more power. So technically, if Amaterasu, if that is on the same level as the Dragon of the Darkness Flame, it wouldn't hurt him anyway, because again, he's conquered the dragon, so you can't hurt him there. Now, in terms of most of the other shit, such as they say, Sasuke has a teleportation ability. Technically, it's not really teleporting. It's more or less like him swapping places with stuff. I mean, again, I know like that some like to bring up the fucking Momoshiki battle, and I'm like, even with that was still him swapping places with him. Like when he hit him with the chain, like in the Boruto show, when he hit him with the chain, they swap places. So that's what his eye does. It's not him like doing fast teleportations and shit. He just swaps with things. So there's that, which I don't think that would really help him. Now, in terms of how fast both of these characters are, speed feats for Naruto are very difficult. So, you know, because people kind of always just either fall back on the idea of that they're ninjas, either that or they fall back on basically the data books. And well, okay, you know, because basically Naruto dodged a super light attack that Madara shot at him. You know what I'm saying? They now say that Sasuke scales to Naruto, but then again, if you were really that fast, technically you wouldn't get punched in the face or get hit. So speed feats are a little difficult. In my opinion, I think that Hiei is faster. Not necessarily because of how fast he was when he was a C-class demon, like when they fought against the 4 Saint Beast. He also got faster than that, like leading into him becoming an S-class demon. So basically the stronger he gets there, he gets stronger there, he gets faster, and so on and so forth. That's kind of how I personally look at it. In terms of all the crazy abilities in which that Sasuke has, you know what I'm saying? Like, Sasuke only has a few moves like at his disposal, if not his fire jutsus, which are virtually which don't help him in the least. Whether that be him using like the Chidori, which technically he can do that, the Chidori and the Thunder Sword, but I don't know how that stacks up against Sword of the Darkness Flame. I don't know, but you know, in terms of him actually trying man to hit Hiei with it, yeah, it might help him, but it wouldn't be enough to actually kill him. You know, so neither would Kirin. So there is that. Yeah, Sasuke cannot use Kamui. Sasuke cannot use the Endurance Arrow. His Susanoo, yeah, people think that it's powerful, but yeah, it's not that fucking powerful. All right, like especially when, you know, like he becomes like right near the end to him becoming an adult. Like these Otsutsuki motherfuckers, like we're really breaking through that shit. So, you know, like it may seem powerful at first, but then again, if you hit it like at the right amount, yeah, it can fuck your day up. So that is the thing. The only other thing like that I can really say about this though is that, listen, I kind of understand where everybody's coming from in terms of this death battle thing, because people really don't like the fact that death battle gets most of the calculations for things wrong, you know. And I'm like, I get that, I understand it, but for this one, it doesn't really help people's arguments per se, because again, they are looking at feats from something that came out in the last like 20 years. You know what I'm saying? In visual, I want to say the visual presentation of what has happened with Naruto, like the years of anime, like since people have started to actually care about what animes are and everything, it's like they got the bigger chance to kind of like just showcase everything, to kind of make you look at it and be like, wow, like that's amazing. Versus like with you looking at something that's like Yu Yu Hakusho, a show that came out back like in the 90s and concluded in the 90s, somewhat early 2000s. You know what I mean? Yeah, like it was very like on the nose. It's like, listen, demons do this, and they are a problem. They show you that, and then they move on. In terms of how people look at Naruto, on the other hand, that's a show that is just like plenty of other ones, since that they don't necessarily calculate this like in the story. The only thing we have to fall back on are data books. It's kind of like that same thing, like when people try and like say like how strong is Cell, right? Cell's perfect Kamehameha can like destroy a universe. We've never seen that happen. We've never seen that in the show. We've never even, literally the only characters like in the original Dragon Ball Z who have ever been said to like destroy universes before Xeno was a thing was either say, or these galaxies at that point. It was Majin Buu or Kid Buu, and then they did that thing like in the Broly movie when like he was like when he destroyed South Galaxy. So sorry about that, but it's like really like that's just a data book, like just saying that, you know, because again, retcons happen, things happen, and again, if you have a character like with enough counters, like, well, yeah, that one's going to win. Hiei has enough counters to fight off Sasuke. That's not that big of a deal. It doesn't matter how basically you feel about it. Doesn't matter if basically like, yeah, like Sasuke is this fast. Honestly, he doesn't really seem all that fast to me, or at least faster than Hiei, because of the simple fact that, you know, I'm a better swordsman, which technically he's not, because he has been sword fighting for most of his life, and or at least like he's been using a blade for most of his life, whereas, you know, Sasuke's only been using it for about 3-4 years, you know, or at least like at the time. So, you know, like I kind of wouldn't say that Sasuke is the better swordsman there. That, and also I think it's a bit of a testament that actually the demon world, because they all say this, they all know that the demon world is way more, so like I think it's like 100 or so times more durable than what the real world is, or at least like what the human world is. And it's like, well, if that's the case, then why don't then all the feats that Sasuke has in terms of like destroying things, that probably shouldn't be as impressive to somebody like Hiei, who has been doing that same thing, you know, like in the demon world. Especially when like, because I remember someone also said that, I also think that like Yu Hakusho characters are mountain level, and I was like, I don't think that's the case, because again, even back in the dark tournament, when Yusuke gained the spirit orb and became just as strong as a B-class demon, like he shot 2 spirit bombs, or at least like basically we see Genkai shoot a spirit gun that that destroyed a mountain and kept on going. And then when he got the spirit orb, he fired it into the heavens, and you know, like everybody on the island could see it. So it's like, I don't see why they think that these guys aren't as powerful. But then again, it might just be like my speculation, like my little simple caveman brain. So who knows? Please tell me what you think about this in the comment section. I'll catch you guys on the next Jongravesshow show. As far as I know, everybody's kind of like just pushing Sasuke because, you know, they know his character and they've seen him more, and most of them, like, they didn't look into any of Hiei's abilities and skills, and they kind of just went on face value, you know. It's kind of like that thing where basically, you know, you look at the Gaara versus Toph thing, because people are still mad at that, where they're like, yeah, like, Gaara should win because he's a ninja, and I'm like, have you seen the show? Just to say, like, do you know how Gaara fights? Gaara does not move. He stands there and just shoots sand and metal at people. And who can bend those things? Toph can. So, okay, but that is what it is. I'll see you next time. I'm out.